To start off, what is the purpose of this event? The purpose of this event is to show you how to run an event, to give you an idea of what you might need in order to get started, and to provide an example of submitting your own MNFurs event. The event that I submit during this will be an event that I will try to make happen in the MNFurs. I already asked a board member regarding the approval and the legitimacy of whether we can run it or not, and it seems like something that we can do. And next, who to contact for questions involving your event. So, where do we start? I want you guys to first start off by thinking of an event that you want to run, something that you want to host, something that maybe you haven't seen in MNFurs yet that you'd love to be able to see. This can be a meetup at one of your favorite locations. This could be maybe a fursuit romp at a park that you think would be a perfect location for it. Or it could just be a simple meetup at your favorite pizza place. Some things that you need to think about when you're making an event is this an online event? Is this an in-person event? How big do you want this event to be? Is this something where you're really only wanting less than a dozen people, or is this something where you want a large amount of attendance? If it is a smaller event, you may want to consider just posting in our Discord chat in either your region channel or the events channel what you're hoping to do and just get a small group of people together. What age is this event going to be? Do you want everyone to be there? Do you want it to be an 18 plus event, 21 plus? How do you know when it is? Well, the general rule of thumb is if it's a late night or overnight event, then you're going to want it to be 18 plus. If it's any event where mature topics or activities will be present, for example, maybe you'll want to host a big Cards Against Humanity game, that should be 18 plus. Any event where you anticipate that there's going to be drinking or alcohol, or since it's just recently been legalized in Minnesota, CBD, that's a 21 plus event. If you ever have any questions or you're not sure about any of this, you're more than welcome to email events@mnfurs.com or mnfurs.org, and we'll try to get to your question as soon as possible. So, you have your idea. You have the event that you want to run. What do you do now? Well, the next part would be doing a little bit of research. If you want to do an arcade event, you'll want to look up various arcades near you. If you want to do a, let's say, karaoke event, look up some karaoke venues. Maybe, I know one of the ideas that I saw pitched was a Discord voice chat karaoke. Well, you might want to contact the event staff and see what the legal restrictions on that might be. Would we be allowed to do copyright content in our voice channels? Would we not? If not, well, do you have a backup plan? When does this location close? If you want to have a late night event, make sure that you have an area that is open up until later at night. If you don't know when, it's usually a pretty quick Google search in order to do so. Is the location fursuit friendly? If you want to figure out whether a location is fursuit friendly, you can either ask an MNFurs staff to ask the venue, or you can ask the venue yourself. Just about every single location has a contact us page where you have an email that you can send it to. And lastly, is a location an open area, like a park, somewhere that is open to the general public? Is this something where a reservation is going to be required? Are you planning on renting out a room for, say, that fursuit making workshop that you've always wanted to do, or those knitting lessons, or a knitting circle that you've always wanted to do with your fellow MNFurs? Remember, you can always ask any questions that you have to events@mnfurs.org. So, what next? Well, next we submit our event. In order to do that, all you have to do is go to the MNFurs website. Go to Calendars and Events, and submit an event. What you'll want to do now is you'll want to fill out a form. Now, the event that I had in mind that I was going to submit as an example for this is an MNFurs Secret Santa. So if that's something that interests you, feel free to sign up for it once it gets posted to the calendar. We have our title. you'll want to come up with something that'll catch some eyes, or even just something that's basic enough where it lets you know what it is. MNFurs Egan Pizza Party. Or in this case, I'm going to be doing MNFurs Discord Secret Santa. I should probably check. Has my presentation moved to the other? Okay, good. So next would be the location. We would like to have as many details as possible. If you are giving a physical location, try to include the address to your location. If you don't know the address, look it up. When does it start and when does it end? If this is, say, a camping trip like what Sarge has had submitted in the past, then you're likely going to have a different start date than you do your end date. If it's just a simple day event, something that's, say, 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock, then it's just going to be the same day. In this case, I am thinking that the Secret Santa starts proper at around December 5th, which would be when your Secret Santa submission is due, and the end date is going to be 2 weeks after that. I'm going to say that submissions need to be in by, let's go with 5 o'clock. And your gift needs to be delivered by midnight. So next you'll need to come up with an event description. Your event description should have the general format of your first couple of sentences should be the hook. How is this going to draw people's attention in? How do you want to get them excited for this event? I will just keep it at that for now. If there's any additional research or any additional rules that might be included for an event, then this would be where you put them as well. For example, I have a set of rules that I've created ahead of time for the Secret Santa event, which can cover the topics such as what happens if somebody doesn't give a gift, or what is the general price point that is going to be allowed for this event. So, for example, the rules for the Secret Santa would be all gifts given during the exchange, especially art, must be SFW. Don't give out your physical address in a public area. Part of the Secret Santa form that I'm going to have is, are you okay with something being shipped to you? If so, make sure to either ask in private or ask me to get the address for you. Don't give it in a public place. General internet safety on this one. Your gift must be worth at least $15. And any failures to provide a gift might result in expulsion from future gift exchanges or other special events. We have our next page after this. So for this is going to be, are you running the event or are you having somebody else run the event? If you don't feel comfortable running the event, you will have to find somebody that you're okay with running the event. Please, please, please make sure that you ask them ahead of time before you say yes. Do you want help running this event? Do you want an MNFurs staff to be there when you're running it? Do you think that this is maybe an event that's going to require volunteers? If no, then you can select no. If yes, then you'll want to select yes. Do you need any additional resources? Do you maybe need MNFurs to help cover the cost of a rental space? Do you need silverware for that cooking lesson that you decided to give? Or do you need anything else like staff or volunteers from MNFurs? Is this in Minnesota? Fairly self-explanatory question. And lastly, is this event fursuit friendly? Given that the event that I'm submitting is an online-only event, I'm going to say that no, it is not. Would you like MNFurs to post these to their social media? Do you want it to be on their Twitter, on their Facebook, on the forums? Would you like the RSVP system to be used? If you have a limited amount of space or you need to know how many people are going to be there ahead of time for, say, if you want to pick up pizza for everybody who's there, then you're going to want to select yes. If it doesn't matter if you know or not who's going to be there ahead of time, then there's nothing wrong with selecting no. Usually yes is the better idea if you're not sure, but if you know for sure that you don't need the RSVP system, then you don't have to use it. If you want any additional comments in here, something that staff should see, then you're welcome to place it in the additional comments. And then afterwards, you will have to agree to the MNFurs Code of Conduct. After that, you will need to type in your real name, as well as your fur name and your fandom name. Now, excuse me, I am going to do this all privately, so that way I'm not giving away my phone number to other people. But after that, all you have to do is select Finish, and then it will be sent off to the MNFurs staff inbox. So while I go ahead and submit this event, I'm going to go ahead and open the floor to questions. Feel free to think of whatever questions you want, place them in this voice chat text channel, and I will answer them as soon as I'm done with submitting this event. Okay, the first question that we have is from Mokaroo. Is it okay to have MNFurs help me at the event if it's my first time running one? Yes, absolutely. Generally, the staff events or the MNFurs staff for the events department always tries to have at least one events person there. They should be more than happy to help you run the event if you're nervous about running it the first time. Second question, what's a good way to find another local fur to help me run an event if I want someone to help me, like for example with a bowling meet? The best way to do that would be to either post it in our MNFurs forums or maybe to post it in your the regional chat appropriate to your region in Minnesota in the Discord server. You can also post it in the events chat, or we can always offer it up as a volunteer opportunity if you email events@mnfurs.org. Next question is from Drake. What possible training opportunities can one provide for those who have limited experience in running an event? If you don't have that much experience and you're interested in running an event, feel free to post so in the events chat. Ask, I'm interested in running an event, but I'm not so sure how to do so. Is there anybody who's planning on running an event soon that can help me? This can be a fursuit romp, this can be a bowling meet, this can be something entirely different. If you ever have any questions at all on how to run an event when you are fairly new with it, you're always welcome to reach out to me, or you're always welcome to email one of our events department. What's the best way to describe the fandom or asking if a venue is fursuit friendly? The way that I've always asked this in the past is that I've started off with what the organization is. I say, I'm here I'm here because I'm interested in running an event for the MNFurs nonprofit organization at your particular venue. Part of our organization is that people enjoy wearing costumes. Are you okay with people wearing full body costumes at your location? So I would say the best way to describe it to a venue is to describe it as full body costumes or costume enthusiasts. If they ask what you mean by that, then feel free to elaborate further. but generally going on with a 10-minute explanation on what a fursuit is going to cause their eyes to glaze over. Rico asks, I'm not running an event, but what's the best way as an attendee to know what events are coming up? The best way to know when events are coming up are to pay attention to the events in the Discord server, as well as keep tabs on the uh, events on MNFurs.org, our event calendar. In order to access the event calendar, all you have to do is go to MNFurs.org and click on the events section. Mokaru asks, can MNFurs help me with creating Discord voice channel on their server if I want to host something like Jackbox Game Night? Absolutely. We can either create our own event channel for that and then delete it later, or you can simply set up a particular voice chat that you want to host it on. Just say, if I am to contact you in the future about what voice channel you want to use, just say that you are interested in using Voice 3 or Voice 4. Rico asks, can I charge people admission to my event hosted via MNFurs? Yes, we have had people in the past who have charged. You can't charge and take the profit for yourself, though. It has to be, I'll use the esports game night as an example. It has to be, if you are not willing to cover the cost of every attendee for the venue, you can say that it is required that you bring your own attendance money for the venue. Drake asks, when at an event, how do I know who to talk to when I have questions that come up? And Mokaru has followed up with, I'm not sure if Ali will touch base on it, but I think we're going to start enforcing name badges so staff and event runners are more clear. Yes, that is something that we are planning on having in the future, is name badges or staff markers, so that way you can, sorry about that, my finger slipped on push to talk. That way you can tell whether events are going to be there or not. If you're not sure who to approach, then I'll let anybody know whether I'm going to be at an event. I'm always wearing a hoodie. I'm always wearing gray sweatpants, usually wearing white gloves as well. But hopefully we will get the name badge implementation on this so that way everyone knows who to approach in a easy manner. If I have a problem at the event, what's the best way to report issues? Asks Rico. If you run into any issues at all at the event, you are welcome to contact not just any event staff, but any MNFurs staff, post it on the events channel, approach them in Discord. Any way that you believe that you can contact them, you can. You can pull them aside on an event and go, hey, I think I saw that person making unwanted advances on a member of this particular fursuiter. Or if you feel safer messaging somebody on Discord about it, you're more than welcome to message them on Discord about it. All that we ask is that you get the name of the person that you wish to discuss, or point the staff member in the general direction there. Well, if nobody else has any additional questions, I think that we are good to wrap this up. That being said, if you do ever have any questions regarding events, you are welcome to email me, you're welcome to message me. I am always open to answering questions. If I'm busy, I'll get to them as soon as I possibly can. Running events isn't really that hard, and I want this event to show you guys that it's easy to submit, and we're always open to help you with every step of the way. So if you ever have any interesting event that you might have a question about because you're not sure whether it's a good idea or not, ask. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming, and I hope that this was enough to get you excited for running your own events.